Good evening all. Sandhya here from Apponix Technology, Bangalore. Uh, on Monday, we had a first day session and I just explained about what is Android and what are the features of Android, and we just compared with multiple mobile operating systems. And in this second day's session, I'm going to explain about the architecture. Here, Android is a software stack of mainly three things. The first one, kernel. The second one, middleware. And the third one, that is applications. Kernel, middleware, and the applications. We'll see one by one what is Linux kernel, what is middleware, and what is the applications, and what are the applications we can see under the applications. Okay, so the Linux kernel, in this architecture we can see mainly 4 layers and the 5 sessions. At the bottom of the layer we can see the red colored layer. This one is Linux kernel layer, and this Linux kernel has only the drivers. So these drivers are like display driver, camera driver, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, audio, video, keypad, flash memory driver, binder, and the power management. So if we want to connect our Wi-Fi, we should have a driver in our device. So this kernel part, it's a part of an operating system. The kernel is a part of an operating system and which holds all kind of drivers. So if we want to connect a Bluetooth, we should have a Bluetooth driver in our device. So that driver which will be there inside the kernel part, so that you can consider this Linux kernel part is the heart of our Android architecture. Okay, and in the second layer you can see the 2 sections, libraries and the Android runtime. See, under the libraries we can see Surface Manager, Open Graphical Layer bar Extended System, Scalable Graphical Layer, Media Framework, FreeType, SSL, that is a Secure Socket Layer, SQLite, WebKit, and the libraries. Okay, so here the Surface Manager, which we are using mainly for displaying the data, Open Graphical Layer or Extended System, and this SGL, Scalable Graphical Layer, this is mainly for animations. See, in our application or in our device, will not be using only the communication applications or the e-commerce applications or shopping applications, will be using some game applications as well. So there we can see the animations. So this SGL, Scalable Graphical Layer, which supports for animations, that is 2D animations and 3D animations. And the media framework, it is mainly for images. We are using different types of images. It is PNG formatted images, JPEG, JPG, or GIF, and different types of audios, MP3, MP4, different types of audios and the videos. So all those are the part of this media framework, that a driver which will be there in the kernel, and for playing, yes, we are using this, and in our device will be having our predefined or the pre-installed application, that is player and the recorder, that is a media player and the media recorder. All those are the part of this media framework. And the next one, that is FreeType, that is mainly for texts, will be using different types of text. You can see the color, font, then the size, font, it's like size, and the different styles. So that can be done by using this FreeType. Then SSL, that is secured socket layer, that is mainly for internet connection. Some of the application will not work without having an internet connection, and some of the applications will work without having any internet connection. For example, to send and receive a SMS, we don't need to have any internet connection. We should have only the network in our device. But if you want to send any message or any audio or video through your WhatsApp application or through email, we need an internet connection. Without that, it won't work. Sometime what will happen, we feel yes, we have connected the internet, and when you're browsing something, it will take lots of time to open or load the page, and at the end we'll get the URL along with the description, and at the end of the URL you can see that SSL, that is what the problem is with the internet connection, that is secured socket layer. Okay, and here to develop an Android application, we are mainly following with the three things. The first one, that is UI, it is a user interface part. Whatever the designs we are using or we are seeing in our applications, all the applications, that is what UI. Next, to store or to fetch the data, we'll be using database. So here we are using SQLite, it's a database. And the third one, that is service part. So to upload and to receive or to fetch the data from the server, we need the service part. So the three things are mandatory here, or the three terms are mandatory here. So UI, database, and the service. Okay. So here in Android, we'll be using SQLite database, and the WebKit, that is mainly for browsers. In smart devices or the smartphones, Google is a browser which will get while buying a device, but we have an option that we can keep Chrome as a default browser, or we can use some other browser also as a default browser. For example, Mozilla Firefox can be used, Explorer can be used. So multiple web browsers can be used in our device. So for that, we have a library, that is WebKit, and here we can see multiple libraries. Based on our requirement, we can use these libraries. So here Android, which has multiple libraries, and this green colored layer, which is mainly for libraries. And this libraries and the runtime, two sessions, which is written in C and C++ programming language. Though C and C++ are middle level programming languages, most of the libraries are written in those two programming languages. And Android runtime, in the second session of the second layer, you can see core libraries and the Dalvik virtual machine, that is DVM. This DVM, which we are using to execute our Android code, that means inside the Android operating system, the operating system which is written in Java programming language, if you want to execute this, we need a virtual machine or the component, that is DVM. Okay, so important thing, we should remember the second layer, which is written in C and C++ programming language. And the third section, will be moving to third section, that is application framework layer. And in this application framework layer, we can see activity manager, package manager, telephony manager, window manager, resource manager, content providers, location manager, view system, and the notification manager. So we'll see one by one. So the activity manager. So activity is one of the components of Android. Uh, Totally we have four components: activity, broadcast receiver, content providers, and the service. These are the four components. So activity, which is representing a single screen. See, in one application, if you consider any application, you can see multiple screens, or in a simple way you can tell multiple pages. So multiple pages will combine, or the multiple screens will combine together, and which will form one application. Okay, so the single screen is equal to one activity. So in one application we can see multiple activities. Next one, a package manager. A package is a collection of class, subclass, and the interface. Okay, we can use multiple class, subclasses, and the interfaces. Android has multiple packages. Here again, based on our requirement, we can use those packages, and by using those packages, we can write a simple code as well. Next is a telephony manager. The telephony manager, which we are using mainly for to make a call and to receive a call, for dialing it, receiving a call. Okay, see, the phone is one of the pre-installed application. That means whenever we are buying any device with Android operating system, we'll get a phone as a pre-installed application, and there, as soon as you open the phone application, you will get the dial pad. In that dial pad, you can see the digits from 0 to 9, plus, delete, symbols you can see. That's what about the telephony manager. Next, a resource manager. So here in the UI part, it's a user interface part, we'll be getting two options again, that is XML and the coding part. In XML part, we'll be designing, and whatever view, by using this view system, we can view, or we can drag and drop the view. For example, button, that's a one view. The layouts, widgets, containers, those are all the views. So that view can be drag and dropped. So once you drag and drop the view, you can see the code inside the coding part. I'm explaining only about the resource part, not the source part. And in the XML, you can see even the design also. That's what about this resource manager. Then the content provider, it is about the data. For example, your contacts application, you can see the browser history, you can see the call history, SMS history. For that, we are using this content provider. So content provider, which will always share the data from one application to another application. For example, you can consider the WhatsApp application, which has no option to store any contact or save any contact. So WhatsApp application, which will always collect or fetch the contact from the contacts application. That's because of this component, that is content provider. And the location manager, the most of the applications are using this location manager, where you can share the location, where you can share your live location also with the help of GPS. For example, most of the food applications, Ola, Uber, Uber Eats, Swiggy, most of the applications are using this. Then notification manager, there are two types of notifications, like pop notification and the push notification. Pop notification, will get without having an internet connection, but push notification will not get without having an internet connection. With internet connection, it is like your mail notifications, Insta, FB notification, WhatsApp notifications. uh, Without internet connection, there's a normal or the simple SMS notification, missed call alerts. Those are all the notifications will get. So this is what about the application framework layer. And this layer, the blue color, the third layer, which is written in Java programming language. Now these three parts, application framework, libraries and the Android runtime, these three parts are combined and formed a middleware. So the middleware is nothing but that is SDK, that is Android Software Development Kit. And the last layer at the top, we can see the applications layer. In this application layer, we can see only the pre-installed application, that is contacts, file manager, phone, messages, browser, clock, calculator, settings. Those are all the pre-installed applications. Okay. So the thing is, the overview of this architecture is we have 5 sessions and the 4 layers. Mainly we can see Linux kernel, libraries and Android runtime in the second session, application framework, and at the top we can see applications layer. The next one, we'll concentrate now. What is the future of this Android um, operating system? So this, as I told in our previous session, Android was restricted only for mobile devices, but now it is not only restricted to the mobile devices. We can see this Android operating system in multiple devices. So it's already there in tablets, watches, television, refrigerator, washing machine, microwave oven. So it is there in all these devices. So even we have seen the market share of this operating system, Android operating system. So this Android operating system, it has a bright future. The thing is, the coding is not too difficult, and the designing, it is always easy because we have a palette, and the palette is with multiple views. So we people can easily drag and drop the views, and meanwhile once it is dragged and dropped, we'll get the coding also. But the thing is, we people should know how to use it and how to edit it. And later, yes, we can use this, and later we can use the coding. I mean, you can do the coding. You can use Java or Kotlin. If you are very good at Java programming language, you can use the Kotlin. Or if you are good at C and the C++ programming language, those also can be used, but you cannot use SDK for that. Android software development. If you want to use C and C++ programming language, then you should use NDK, Native Development Kit. So SDK, which supports only 2 languages, Java and the Kotlin. And there are multiple libraries and the packages. So based on our requirement, we can use those packages and the libraries. Okay. And Android, which has the very user-friendly tool. Tool means the software where you can write the code. That is Android Studio, which is available in the official website of Android, and the documentation is also available. Next, I will be going to explain you how to install Android Studio. See, if you install Android Studio, the Android has the official website, that is developer.android.com. From there, you can get the software. Yeah, you can see here, download. This is Android Studio. It is only for Windows. If you are using some other devices, you can scroll it down and you will get the software from here. See, system requirements. System requirements, here they mentioned Microsoft Windows 7, 8, 10, 64-bit processor you have to use. So nowadays we'll not be getting Android Studio for 32-bit processor. So you have to use 64-bit processor. And the 4G RAM is the minimum. 8GB RAM is recommended. And 2 GB of available disk space is minimum. And the 4 GB is recommended. And the minimum screen resolution also they mentioned it here. And if you are using Mac device, here is the system requirement. You can use even the Linux operating system as well, and the Chrome OS also can be used. Okay. See, if you are using a Mac device, then the software which will be available here, and they mentioned the size of the software as well. If it is Windows, you can use this link to download. If it is a Linux operating system, there is a link, and for Chrome OS, you can see the link here. Okay, I'm not going to download it here. I just showed you, so you can refer this site, that is developer.android.com/studio. You will get the software from here. Right, and the documents, this is also available here. If you want to use, yes, you can use even this document as well. The next one, so I'm showing you here how to install this Android Studio in Windows. So once it is downloaded, you can click on this. Click on that software. You will get the first pop-up window, that is welcome to Android Studio setup, and just click on next. Here, choose components. You will get an option to choose a component or the components. So here you can click on it. Next, the path where or the location where this Android Studio is going to install. Next, choose a start menu folder. You can keep it as Android Studio, the default name which will take Android Studio. Next, it will take time to install it in our device. It depends on your system speed and the internet speed. And while installing this Android Studio, you please make sure with your internet connection, because we'll not be installing only the software, we'll be installing even the platforms, plugins, repositories and the directories as well. So you should have a proper internet connection. Next, once it is done, you will get a pop-up window that is installation complete. The setup was successfully completed. Next, it will start your Android Studio. Just click on finish. And if you are installing this Android Studio very first in your device, please select do not import settings and click on OK. And this Android Studio which will open, and here you will get one more window. So this Android is the Studio. By using this, you can develop an application for phone and tablet, watches, television, automotive systems also, like automation also. Next, here you can select you have two options, the custom and the standard. So please select the standard. The standard, it is for Android Studio, will be installed with the most common settings and options recommended for most users. So go with this. And the custom, which you can customize the installation settings and the components installed. So go with the standard. And here we have an option to select the theme. It is left to you guys. You can select either Dracula or the IntelliJ. Next, once it is done, it will start downloading all the components, and at the end you will get this pop-up window, and it will tell you to start a new Android Studio project. If you have some other, if you have Android Studio project with you, you can select this open an existing Android Studio project. If you don't have any project with you, you can select this start a new Android Studio project. And in our tomorrow session, I will explain you how to create a new Android Studio project, and I will explain in detail about the project structure. And now I'm going to share this today's attendance link. Please fill the form, and please fill the form and give me a minute. I will just share the attendance link with you guys. So the code is mandatory, then only we people will consider your attendance. Yes. Just now I sent you, please fill the form. And if you guys have any questions in this today's session, you guys can ask me. I will reshare the link along with the code. Please fill the form.